Good evening. Welcome to Inside Asia. I am Akarapong Kamkun, your host for tonight. Tonight, we are going to discuss with Professor Kyoko Kusakabe from Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, about the role of women in Asia as well as in Southeast Asia. And let's take a short introduction of who Kyoko Kusakabe is.
Dr. Kyoko Kusakabe is an Associate Dean of the School of Environment, Resources, Development at the Asian Institute of Technology, or AIT. Dr. Kusakabe has contributed mightily to the field of gender studies in Asia. She also has been working on gender mainstreaming with other international and bilateral organizations such as UNDP, World Bank, UNFPA, FAO, ADB, and many more. She recently co-authored one book titled Thailand's Hidden Workforce, Burmese Migrant Women Factory Workers. And tonight, Inside Asia will be discussing with her on gender issues in the topic of the roles of women in Southeast Asia. Let's hear what Dr. Kusakabe has for us tonight.
We are now with Professor Kyoko Kusakabe from AIT, Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok. Welcome to Inside Asia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining our program. So let's clarify about what is the role of women in Asia, basically in Southeast Asia.
Well, where should we start?
Yes, we should start from the role of the woman here. I mean, in the world, women roles, act as the mothers, as wife, as a daughter.
Yeah.
And what are the differences between the Western world or the Eastern world from your perspective?
Because I am originally from Japan.
Yes.
So when I came here for the first time, the first thing that struck me was the number of women in offices.
Yes.
So women were there, a lot of women were working, also women were in a higher position in the government. So the progress of women in the economy was quite impressive, which was quite different from Japan. So that is one very important difference between the Southeast Asian countries and East Asian countries like Japan or Korea.
So even in Asia, even in the eastern part of Asia, women has different role, right?
It seems so.
Yes.
So the women's role in economy in Southeast Asia is much stronger than compared to Japan. Although Japanese women also contribute a lot in the economy, but then the recognition that we get might be less than compared to Southeast Asia.
Could you give more examples of these ideas?
Like, for example, in Thailand, it is quite a normal thing to work after getting married or having children.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's either out of necessity or because of their career orientation. In both ways, they continue work. And then that's kind of accepted as a norm in the society. In Japan, it is changing now, but then before there was a big obstacle for women to continue to work after getting married or after having children.
Okay.
So now the government is, and then the society is trying to encourage women to continue, but still there's a big hurdle to do that. Here, it's much easier.
Okay.
So that's another very big difference here.
Okay, so it seems like women work here, but they were not treated so good, because I don't think you see the duty and the obligation of women are a lot as a mother who need to feed their children. But why social status of the women are not that acceptable for male?
Exactly. So that is one thing that strikes us also, because, like, for example, comparing to South Asia and Southeast Asia.
Okay.
In South Asia, participation of women in the economy is a big thing.
Okay.
So so less participation is a problem. In Southeast Asia, too much participation is a problem. Meaning that all the work is now on the shoulder of women. Women work, women earn money, women do the household work, women do the child care, everything is on women.
Okay.
So that is, the problem is totally opposite. So too much, too less, both are very difficult for women. Because this question about why women are doing so much work, but why no recognition, is a big issue that we also find it very puzzling.
Okay.
Some people would try to explain that from, for example, like Buddhism perspective,
Yes.
that how women are seen as kind of inferior to men in the religion. So that kind of put women as a secondary citizen in whatever they do. So there are various explanations that are given why a woman's status or contribution is not being recognized.
Yes, but even in Thailand, it seems like women has more, more participation, even in politics, because we now have Thai prime minister as a female leaders. And what do you think about that?
It's because many people say that, oh, now these countries have women prime ministers, so their gender equality situation must be good. But then actually, if we look at it very closely, all the women leaders in Southeast Asia, not only Southeast Asia, but Asia, like South Asia also, all the women leaders are either wives or daughters or wives or daughters or mothers or some
in
kind
the same
of
family, right?
Yes, or sisters, yeah, or of another very prominent men politician. So if they were not related to this male politician, they would not have been able to go into that kind of a position.
Okay.
So it is not a reflection of women's advancement in society. It's rather more of a reflection of how strong the class is in these countries.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, after the short break, we will come back and discuss more about the work of Professor Kyoko. Stay tuned.